Hi everyone, I'm Michael Paul. In today's science video, we're going to continue looking at the forces of push and pull and how they are used in simple machines. When we move an object around using a push or a pull, it requires us to do some work. Most machines are designed to make the work easier. Today's investigation will look at levers. What are levers? How are levers used? How do levers make the work easier for us? First, let's look at some different types of levers. So the first type of lever we're going to look at is like a seesaw. This lever has the pivot point in the middle and where the kids sit on the sides, let's call them the load. The load is on each side of the pivot point. That pivot point is called the fulcrum. Let's have a look at some other different types of levers. The next type of lever is like a wheelbarrow. It has the pivot point or the fulcrum at the front, the load is in the middle, and the lifting force is at the end of the lever. And the last type of lever is like when you have a fishing rod. The pivot point is at one end, the lifting force is in the middle, and the load is at the other end. So here we've got the things that you're going to need for today's experiment. We've got our ramp, we've got I'm going to use the little train today because it's a bit more lightweight than the car that I used. You're going to need a ruler like this. You're going to need the lid of a texter and a pencil. It's important that the lid of the texter, when you've attached it to the ruler, that it can swivel like this. So it needs to be able to swivel. So this needs to be able to move around inside the texter lid. You're going to need a pen, you're going to need a ruler or a tape measure so you can do some measuring. You're going to need some tape, and then you're going to need 4 different balls. I've got a marble, a golf ball, a ping pong ball, and a high bounce ball. And I've got 4 Jenga blocks as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach the top of the texter lid to the ruler. So get some tape and put the tape across the texter lid like this and around the ruler. Maybe some the other way, so it's kind of like in a crisscross way like that. Attach it around, and that has to be firmly attached to the ruler so that when you put the cap onto a pencil like this, it's going to swivel around. Then I'm going to put this on the end of my table and I'm going to tape it so it can swivel like this on the edge of my table. Maybe over here a bit more, like that. There you go, so it's going to swivel around like that. Next, I've put a piece of tape here and I'm going to put a line on that tape. This is the starting place for the train to go. And I might put one like that as well so it starts in the same position every time. Okay, next to the lever here. So I'm setting up the ramp here and I've got a piece of tape there and I'll put a line on the tape so that the front of the ramp starts at the same place every time. And I'm going to put some tape in the middle of the ramp so we can start the balls running from the same place on the ramp every time. So the ball's going to run down the ramp, hit the lever, then the lever's going to swivel and push the train forward. Okay? So the aim of this experiment is to roll different balls down the track, get them to hit the lever, and then we're going to measure how far the lever pushes the train forward. And I'm thinking that because we're having different sized balls, the distance that this gets pushed might vary from ball to ball. So now that we've got the whole experiment set up, let's give it a try and see if it's going to work. I'm expecting the ball to round down here, hit the lever to swivel and to push the train along the table. Let's see if it works. Okay, so it has worked. Now what you need to do is get your tape measure and measure the distance from the line to the back of the train. So we're going to do the experiment with a marble, a golf ball, a ping pong ball and a high bounce ball. I'm wondering, what results are we going to get with using the different balls? Well kids, I hope you enjoyed doing that investigation. I've got a couple of questions to ask. Which balls work best at pushing the lever to make the car move? Can we conclude that the heavier balls push the toy car further than the lighter balls? How could we include using a lever in the dog feeding machine that we had at the start of this unit? That's the end of this investigation, but maybe you can think about some other uses of levers. So kids, I only know 25 letters of the alphabet, but I really don't know why. Thanks for watching. See you in the next science video. Bye.